Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, Lord. Just thank you for all the many blessings you've given us, Lord. I know we're going through a tough time here on earth, Lord, but we know that you have the upper hand and everything's going to come out to be good. It's all in your will. Lord, just forgive us for our sins, Lord. Lord, help us make the good decisions that would be the best, that would be in your will. That unites with this make, Lord. All this ask in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That ain't on. Works now. Can y'all hear me back there now? Pretty good. I'd like to welcome everybody to the September 17th, 2020 Winfield City Council meeting. I guess Todd's kind of under the weather a little bit, so the attorney's not going to be here, but I don't think we got anything that's pressing for his legal issues, so maybe we can make it all right. If we need to, we'll get him online. First item on the agenda is approving minutes from September 3rd, 2020 council meeting. I need to ask for a motion to approve those minutes if there's no comments or questions on how they're written. Second. All in favor? Next item on the agenda is the renewal of CD, renewal of number 55708. We went through the same process as we usually do. We sent out requests for bids on these, what rate we could get from each bank, the three local banks, State Bank and Trust, First State Bank, and the Citizen Bank of Winfield. The amount of this CD is total amounts $170,482.10. So the first one I'm going to open is going to be from State Bank and Trust. All the banks got a form like this. Every one of them, all three of them got a form of this nature. The guy has the date of the request and the deadline and the total amount of the CD, which is $170,482.10. And it's we request a term of 6 months and a 12-month to give a rate on both. State Bank Trust interest rate for 6 months is 0.075. Interest rate for 12 months is 1.0. State Bank. The next one's from First State Bank of the South. Same sheet as the other one. First State Bank, the interest rate for 6 months is going to be 0.20, and the interest rate for 12 months is 0.25. The next bid is going to be Citizens Bank of Winfield. Same form as the other two, the request form. The interest rate for 6 months is at 0.50. The interest rate for 12 months is 0.75. So you got 0.50 and 0.75 and a 0.20 and 0.25 and a 0.75 and a 1.0. Looks like State Bank Trust is offering to give you the most. The question is, I think the last time we did it for 12 months, we renewed it the last time for 12 months. Be my recommendation to the council to go with the 1.0 for 12 months. with the State Bank Trust. All in favor? The next item on the agenda is the 2021 budget. Mike Watkins is here to kind of pass that around to y'all to kind of look over that. Have you didn't change anything on the Brett, lock my truck. Lock it. Basically what Mike has done is he took last year's budget compared to the amount of income changes, what each department thinks, sir, what each department has spent, and what departments that takes in or has money taken in, and kind of went through and created a 2021 budget to kind of go by. Has anybody got any questions for Mike on the way he's got this budget written up compared to what that he's gave you before? I think he passed out last council meeting. You can tell if it's by this budget summary sheet, or we need to probably, this is the last meeting in September. We really needed probably to go ahead and approve this budget, unless anybody's wants to table it and look over it anymore, or got any more questions. We probably need to try to go ahead and pass this budget tonight. It looks like it's pretty cut and dry to me. I don't see nothing that stands out to make it not work. I think we're doing really well. The last I guess the last 4 budgets has worked out pretty good for as a positive budget instead of a negative budget. We're not in the deficit like a lot of places in our budget. I think we do pretty good with what little money we get. So based on this preparation of this budget, I've went over the other sheets that he's given me. I think it looks good, and it's the way we've been kind of operating. If a department, has a dire need for something, we work that in. We hadn't put nothing major in the budget, but we hadn't took anything. We've kind of went by what we've done in the past. If nobody's got any questions or comments, it's my recommendation that we go ahead and approve this budget, and I need to ask for a motion to approve it. Second. All in favor? Thank you, Mike. Okay, so she got that issue taken care of. Yeah, no, but it's on the agenda, so they kind of explain. We're going to table it, it'll come up later. Huh? All right. The next item on the agenda, as you see, where Librarian Regina Sperry had to be on the budget because I had an employee issue, but right now that it's not a problem right now. That issue is not a problem, so we're going to just bypass that item on the agenda. We don't have an issue there at the moment. The next item on the agenda is old business. I'll just go around the table and see if any council members got any old business. Anthony, you got anything? Okay, I need to let Brett, he's as far as the police department and our agreement for the K-9 unit and different, I need to let Brett explain before the council about the old business we've had with the K-9 unit and a different thing with trying to put a couple of cars on the surplus.
This is something that you guys have already voted on. Because of AMIC, they required that we needed, or requested, an agreement, a memorandum agreement that would, take care of Justin and the dog and the city because he purchased the dog. AMIC sent me a copy, a sample template, and basically I just made it work for us, went down and let Todd look at it, Todd approved it. I've signed it, Justin signed it, and then the mayor will need to sign it if you guys are good with it. I've got a copy of it right here, if you can look at it. We've already discussed everything in it. And then the other was that it was requested. Sir? We've already took care of it. All that's been done. This is just basically the saying that if he goes to another agency or goes somewhere else, the dog goes with him, and he has breeding rights to the animal because he purchased it. And then the other agreement is based on the federal law of pay. It's 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours a week is the guideline. We agreed on 4 hours a week, which would be 8 hours of pay period, just for the simplicity of the number. Justin agreed, and we agreed as well. And like I said, it just required a signature for the mayor as well. And I put a copy of the case law in there. It's Lee versus Carson City that I didn't have before.
We need to act on approving that memorandum for AMIC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Both of these, like I said, both of these were discussed. I told you what they were, but this is actually put down.
What this is, for anybody that might be listening, that don't know, this is an insurance policy. Our insurance company is asking for us to do this, to get this in order for this K-9 unit. Has everybody got a copy of that? They're the only, that's the only, and they, I've done real good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just basically just it's taking care of him, and it's taking care of him.
You need it, Chris? You need to see this other one. So I need to ask for the motion and a second to approve that. Anthony made a motion, a second. I need to ask for a second. All in favor? All right, and, Brett, you got a couple of vehicles you want to surplus?
Yes, sir. I got 2 chargers. Just need the okay to, I've already got the pictures. We've torn them down, took the usable equipment out of it, and we're using the new bid. When we get them, but just need a approval to put them on, for Mike to put them on gov deals and to set them in.
Need to ask for a motion to let him put those on the gov deals. Second. Chris, second. All in favor? That's the only place on that one.
Yes, sir. One place on. You have
if it's okay, I'll get with Mike and we'll set that, minimum figure on those. I need to, I'm not real up on the Dodges. We'll set it and then we'll go from there and see what it looks like. But if it's okay with y'all, I'll get with him to give him a base price. Old business at the park. We've got two new cupboards put in. The squash cupboards are back in. We replaced the one that washed out, got it back in, and then the other one that goes in the nature trail that had the smaller inlet, it was a smaller pipe. We got that big one put in today. If y'all get a chance to see him, you need to thank Tim Estes, County Commissioner, for bringing the track hoe over, helping with that. He's been Johnny on the spot trying to get those things finished. So what we're going to do now is we've got somebody I think that's going to volunteer the labor part of putting the 2 foot or whatever the guard railing I'll call it, but it's going to be block. That's going to volunteer laying those blocks. It'll just be the park will be out the expense of the material. So they're going to do this probably a week to 2 weeks before they get that done. And I think we're good on the weather. I was kind of worried that we was going to get some of this hurricane weather and have a big mess up there, but we were spared that, so was able to get both those in. They did take the other cupboards back, but there was a 20% restocking fee, but it was lucky that we've got those sent back. We've got that done. What else we got on? Can look at it. I'd like to, this is kind of, I always feel like anything to do with the highway, with the streets or whatever in town is kind of old business because it's always an ongoing thing. If we get denied on our the Rebuild Alabama money, if we get denied on those grants that that we've got in place, that we're going to use, we've got probably right close to $150,000 to $160,000 in reserve for road work. And it was $147,000. I think it may have increased just a little bit, so we're roughly $150,000. I'd like to see the council agree while the weather's still fair for us to spend that $150,000. That's all. That money's set aside for. It has to be used on the road paving. If I can get the council to let me throw a street or two out there that we can get pricing on, which I'm going to continue to work on this Rebuild Alabama grant. I'm not going to let that go. But if we don't, which a new cycle of its fiscal start, I think we'll still be in good shape for as a matcher on that, for as the city goes to match that money that we agreed to match before. If we can get, the cap on that's $250,000. We've already agreed to do our part of matching that, but I'd like to go ahead and while we have that money set aside for paving, if we can come to an agreement on which streets that we could get done for that $150,000 that we've got put aside for that. I can get some engineering, can get me some figures, rough figures. It's usually pretty close because they can measure the road and the width and kind of get an idea about what that costs. So if I can get y'all between now and maybe the next, I'll try to, if you want me to, I'll go ahead and try to get some of the roughest that I feel like is the roughest. If y'all see a street that you think's more priority over any other, I mean, I know everybody wants some. It's kind of to keep making somebody mad. You gotta pick. It's like probably trying to pick a contestant in a beauty contest. You hate to do it, when they all look good, but all the streets looks bad. But we got to decide which ones is worse, I guess, for the traffic, the amount of traffic, and what's on it. But we need to try to see if we can't maybe go ahead and do some paving while we still got some good weather before the wet weather starts. Other old businesses over there on Fairview Road. I think I've spoke with Rob. I don't think he's here. He's on Fairview Road. I think that they started today putting those culverts that we have got to go in place over there, which we wanted to get that done. So if we do go doing the paving, we'll have the drainage underneath it already in place to where that won't hold us up on getting the roads paved. We've got a gentleman here with us tonight which I know that he spoke to me several times about the road over there. If you want to look at his place over on County Road 88, the very start of County Road 88 where it goes over to County Road 54. There's a few bad spots in that road over there, so you might want to look at that when we're considering trying to get roads fixed. There's some a few ditching issues that in different places. There's a ditching issue on Fairview that we're going to clean out for that culvert. I spoke with Luke Porter, which Angie sat in on a meeting twice this week already, or twice? One virtual meeting on this midway where the culvert's sinking, has sunk. We feel like that we're going to get funding for that. We don't know that we're going to get the amount of funding that we requested, but we are going to get funding to fix that. And the amount of funding that we're going to get for it's going to determine what kind of fix we're going to do, be able to do with it. Versus a box culvert versus a galvanized or a squashed culvert or a plastic pipe. It's going to depend on the amount of funding that we get from FEMA on that project. Where we're putting these culverts in on Fairview Road, we're hoping to be reimbursed through FEMA once we get this FEMA major project and add that to it, that's going to help a good bit on the cost of it. I've got Spike Construction assisting Rob with the track hoe over there on that project of putting those culverts in. Of course, y'all know that Rob had 2 major trees fall between now and the last council meeting that those had failed. Rob and his crew got those cleaned up to what he could handle with his equipment. And then I sent some guys up there, and we've got everything at the post office. Finally got that road where it's passable again. But what I'd like to see is, I have talked about it numerous times, and I feel like when generational changes are made, things have to be things have to be more looked at versus from like it was. As time goes on, you have to be prepared to make changes. Up here on Apple, where the road comes in from the Church of Christ, goes in toward the middle school. That traffic that comes back out of the middle school, don't stop. I don't know if it's got anything to do. I don't know. I hadn't talked with Brett on that, but I do know that they've cut the out traffic coming out at the middle school, coming out on that one way that used to be a one way. But are they allowing traffic to come through there now? Since they started allowing traffic to come through there, I didn't realize that was why, but after I started putting things together, that is why. People don't know that traffic don't stop. And I come through there in the mornings coming back after I get off the bus, and I make it a point to go through that way to see how the traffic's flowing. And 2 times that I had to literally let them know that they're supposed to stop, because they were coming and wasn't going to stop. And traffic was behind them doing the same thing. It's like almost a domino, because they come through there and they had to. I think that we need to address that a little harder than it's ever been addressed, because the traffic has changed the way they've got them going in and out at the middle school. I think we need a flashing sign there stating that traffic I mean, there's a sign there, but it sets kind of low, and I bet you can't nobody in here tell me how that sign reads. There's two signs, one on top of the other, and I feel like that if it was brought to somebody's attention, you would know what it says. If you made one or two visits through there, you'd know what that sign says. And I think we need to put something there to bring it to the people's attention that traffic's not going to stop, because we're going to end up having an accident.
I've had a couple of complaints
Yeah,
since the school year.
it may be the ones that I made stop. I don't know, but anyway, that traffic's supposed to yield. It's not clear what they're supposed to do, really, in my opinion, but they're supposed to yield for the traffic coming this way. They think it's this way because it's coming this way and they're going this way. They're not paying attention to that road that comes around this way. It's kind of sort of like that one out south side of Fayette, kind of sort of where you go out right there at the last, before you get to where you turn and go to Gordo, where you come out down there at the bottom. Sometimes people sit at that stop sign, and then and sometimes people going that way stop, and there's not a stop sign for them. I just think we need to, if I can get a solar powered or some kind of light with an assistant to Brett, I think we need to put something there to alert people that they're supposed to yield and let that, watch for that traffic coming this way.
There's another spot too, either a yield or a stop sign, where you turn on foot yield. You go out there and you turn right, go across that bridge, you go straight, you come the other way, there's no local traffic that waits in the foot up on the other day.
Foot
Yield sign or stop sign.
Foot hill.
Right there past Run's house.
Right past what?
Right there past Run's house.
Whose house?
Run digger.
Yeah,
Yeah. When the road right, when they're coming the other way,
yeah.
they pulled out time the other day, I thought, well, they were sign there, so they don't have to stop it.
There's more traffic on that road than people thinks there are. So I think if it's council's all right with it, and if it's not very expensive, I think we need to do something to do that.
Remember a sign proposed is probably that piece of the house?
Huh?
The sign that's already got the post and everything propped up against the house, I saw the other day.
What's it say?
Stop sign,
Oh, stop sign.
yeah, post and everything, propped up against somebody's house.
And is it one of our signs?
What's confusing, like the other night, when we got on the football game, out of town,
Yeah.
they stopped, and then they got a yield. But when you got all that traffic leaving at one time, the game got good, they stop here, and then they go over here and yield. Then you got this traffic wide open, and there's nobody, they're not yielding. Ain't nobody gonna let them go, because they're ready to get home.
So we might need to put an officer or something there at the ball game, kind of look at that till we figure out a way to make sure that people knows how to go, because it's getting it's different than it was back in the day. The traffic's faster through there, or the way they've started exchanging the traffic.
But during school, any kind of being up there, because when you pull up the middle school now, it ain't looping around. They got it roped off. You got to make that turn, keep going straight. You got to make that turn in the parking lot, come right back out.
How come they stopped that traffic from going up that way? How come they stopped? How come they barricaded that traffic from going out?
Where I sat in the morning, because they've got the underclass that's coming in the
Down
other
to the
road.
south, the other end.
Yes, sir.
So they're letting 7th and 8th grade out at the door, and then they're letting the 5th and 6th grade out at the other end by the old gym. And that's where they're bringing that traffic. Those parents is having to come this way, and the other parents is going this way. So they're making them, when these parents is coming in the 7th and 8th grade, not going that way because the other traffic's going that way. That's why it's increased.
There's really for all three schools. I mean, it's a good thing to have, but there's more population as far as vehicles than there is roads to carry. I mean, that's the truth. So they've had to try to make resources out of the same way we did in elementary school, trying to bring cars in the back way and making that makeshift turning lane there, because it completely shuts that line of traffic coming, in the morning at the elementary school. We try to
we need to look at that. It's kind of,
Next week, my sister got an next day, I go break.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
I mean, that, we have all, say they can't, they don't know what's coming around, but when they got that closed off, they will come back around.
I'm gonna let him say a word. Stand up and introduce yourself. Tell me what you.
I'm Jack Russell. My wife's name's Hermine Russell. And I'm here, I heard you mention County Road 88, and that's the reason I'm here. I live just off of Highland on County Road 88 in Fayette County. I'm in the city limits of Winfield, and we have, in the last couple of years, seen our road deteriorate greatly. And to give you a little background, last year in the spring, during the dry spell, we trimmed some of our shrubs and put it out on the road. Fayette County cut an overhanging tree just below my property there, right on the corner of my property. And left about a 4 or 5 foot long piece of the trunk of that tree in the ditch. It's been there ever since, which caused the ditch to overflow. Now the road is eroded away about that far on that side. And there's a tree trunk, a tree root growing under it. People think it's a speed breaker. And at night, if they got a trailer or something, it wakes you up. But right now, as of now, that piece of that trunk is still in the ditch. There's dead limbs just as you turn off there at Fred Taylor's place. There's tree limbs in that ditch that's blocking the ditch. It's going to overflow on that part of the road eventually. It's not rectified and damaged yet. Now, the last few days, there was a counter on that road by the state. And there's one on the highway too. I asked that counter if he said that was Fayette County, but to make a long story short, I asked those people from Fayette County to pick up the trimmings that I trimmed. They said, no, that's Winfield. And last year, the one that picks up on the side of the road for Winfield City was also a Highland picked it up, and I asked him to pick up on their road. He said, that's Fayette County. And we pay most of our taxes in Winfield. We pay taxes both places. But we're really not getting very much service from either one.
I told you, and I think I told your wife, I'm gonna personally take care of that tree down there. These two up here that's been up here, and I've had my crew on that one at the post office. I'm gonna get that stump.
But there's dead limbs also up there, above me.
Yeah,
Now, I mowed my ditch down there, and I used to mow that part. But when they changed the contour of the ditch, I can no longer mow it. And the last time the Fayette County came by, I asked them to mow my bank down there by those areas. They mowed the bank, just left the ditch go there. And I can't mow the ditch now because the contour has been changed by the fact that it was overflowing.
We're gonna take care of it. It's just like that tree that's blew over down here behind Hilltop that went across 43-171. I asked Rob, I said, is that gonna be the state or is that gonna be us? It's a state highway. He agreed with me. We'd see if it got moved. It's not gonna get moved. So me or Rob one's gonna have to take care of that one. I'm gonna come get that one because I don't believe in passing the buck because it's all tax money, whether it's in Fayette County or Marion County, the Winfield City. If it's on a right of way, it's the taxpayers that's paid for that right of way. I mean, it needs to be taken care of. So,
There's a lot of people that does not know how much traffic.
yeah, but there's a couple of spots in that road that I wanted them to look at for us to pave it, but I'm gonna take care of that. We'll get that log out of the ditch.
I appreciate it. My
Yeah.
dad used to say, when you go somewhere asking for something, go where you have it in your hand.
Yeah.
Well, I left my hat at home, but had such a difficult mess, but like I say, I appreciate the city.
Yeah.
Since Fayette County is,
We're gonna look at it. We'll look at it. I appreciate Jack. That's the only thing I guess I got for his old business. I don't think, am I missing anything? You know if I'm missing anything? All right, if nobody else got any other business, I need to ask, the next item on the agenda is to pay the bills. I need to ask for a motion. If nobody's got any question about the normal, should be just mainly the normal bills on that list, I need to ask for the motion to pay them. Second. All in favor? All right, now the next council meeting will be on the regular scheduled time, the first week in October, first Tuesday in October. We good there? Anthony, as far as ball game?
The next game is 10.
It's on Tuesday,
Tuesday the 6th is our next meeting.
the 6th. All right, so
Tuesday is 10.
we'll be back to regular schedule for his meeting next Tuesday. If nobody else has got nothing, I need to ask for a motion to adjourn. All in favor? All right, appreciate y'all coming.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/49 County News TV.